Yeah. Now he's doing pretty well. He does have mild aphasia. He not because of the accident, but because of the care, I guess you could call it. In the hospital, they um, deafened him in one ear that wasn't hurt in the accident. So he came out worse than he went in. And that's why it's become an issue. So, um, but they asked for this report, and the report's not right. So, or they were using the report, and the report's not right. Um, so, what happened is that you could see on the report on the chief complaint that it says fall from approx 35 feet from ladder.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
Yeah. What does that tell you happened?
Um, so chief complaint is usually what is presented to us as the reason for our response, either by patient or from the 911 caller,
And so
or
can you
yeah, go
tell
ahead.
who gave them that information?
Um, so the comments on the CAD, which is our dispatch record, and I can get you that copy too,
Oh,
Laura.
great.
Um, says, and we can do the 911 call if you want it. We can listen to it.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So the
Oh.
comment, they type exactly what the caller said. Okay. In the CAD, the dispatcher.
Oh.
CAD is our communication system where, let's give you an example. If you call 911 in Little Rock, the primary answering point is Little Rock Communications, which handles fire, police, and EMS. And when the caller says, I need an ambulance, then they take some general information, start the rescue, which is the fire department, and then transfer the caller to our dispatch, where our dispatch starts the process. It's interrogation. That sounds kind of harsh, but
No, but
you know, but
no, I'm in law, so
yeah,
interrogatories, that's how they get the
there you
word,
go. Yeah,
interrogatories.
yeah, yeah. So they then start the process of the emergency medical dispatch, which includes the first thing they say is um, they confirm the call phone number in case they disconnect in the address, and then tell me exactly what happened. Okay, that's every call for 911 starts with the caller. And this dispatcher typed in the comments were he's on the ground and looks like fell 3 stories. Okay,
Okay.
so um,
But it
there's not a phone number. It says burner phone, so there's no phone number. It's just 555 0000, and we got the transfer from Little Rock Communications, so we didn't have a callback number confirmation because it was a burner phone as they typed in the comments.
how do you know it's a burner phone? That's just curious, but
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I don't really know.
okay.
I guess when they ask the caller, what's the phone number you're calling from? And they'll say
Yeah.
501 301 1463, and they'll repeat that to confirm. And I guess when they asked the caller, they said, I don't know, it's a burner phone.
Oh. Okay. So can we listen to that recording?
Absolutely.
Oh, you've already been a great help. I mean, this is really, yeah.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help you.
Thank you.
Can you give me a little more information? I know I believe who you are, but what is
June 24th, 1990.
Okay. And do you remember the pickup address?
It was on Foxcroft Lane. I have it written down. Do you want me to? Uh, oh, okay. In fact, is it even on the report?
Yep.
I'm looking at the
Find
report.
Sierra Madre, I believe.
His address is Sierra Madre.
Yep, I got that. North of the Rock.
Yeah, but that's he actually just moved to just right down the street, or like about a mile away or a half mile away. But that was his address at the time. Okay.
Okay. And has he moved since then?
No, that's it. He's moved once, and that was just recently. I mean, he was technically living with me for just a short time. That's when he first got out of the hospital.
Okay. So now we're gonna listen. We're gonna look for the tape.
Okay.
So January 13th, 2024, and the call came in at 16:28. 1/13/2024, 16:28. Let's see what I can find here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to help. I'm gonna log into this recording program. Stand by just a second. All right. Let's see. 16:28. Ma'am, what's the address of the emergency? All right. Can you hear that?
Just barely. I'm going to turn up my phone and see if that helps. Okay, go on.
Okay. And I'm gonna turn up the volume as well.
Okay.
Ma'am, what's the address of the emergency? 3502 Foxcroft. Okay, and the phone number you're calling from? 501-732-0272. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened. I was sleeping. I was having, so I guess the other was scheduled to clean my gutters. Sorry. Ma'am, what's the address of the emergency? I'm gonna start it over.
Okay. He gave a phone number.
502 Foxcroft. Yeah, he did. I wrote it down. Okay, and the phone number you're calling from? 501-732-0272. Why did it got burner? Tell me exactly what happened. I was sleeping. I was having, so I guess the other was scheduled to clean my gutters. Showed up and heard a big bang. I look outside. He's on the ground. His ladder looks like he fell about 3 stories off of the ladder. Okay. Are you with him now? Yeah. I'm standing right here close to him. Okay. I just can't go too close or I'll lose cell phone signal. Okay, I got you. I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions to try to answer the best you can. How old is he? Middle-aged, mid-30s, it looks like. Okay. Is he awake? Yes, he's moving. He looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. Okay. Is there any serious bleeding?
Yeah, he's had some bleeding from his face, it looks like.
Okay, is it spurting or pouring?
It looks like he knows his name. My roommate's talking to him. He's bleeding. I can't tell if it's pouring or not, but
Okay.
there's some serious blood from his nose area.
Alright, is he having any difficulty breathing?
He's having a lot of difficulty in general.
Okay. Alright, I'm thinking of else to help him now, so I'll tell you exactly what to do next. But y'all don't move him unless he's in danger. Don't inflict any injuries. Don't let him have anything to eat or drink. It might make him sick or cause further problems. Again, don't move him unless it's absolutely necessary. Tell him to try to be still and wait for help to arrive.
Tell him not to move. Don't move.
If he becomes less awake and vomits, though, quickly lay him on his side. And if he gets worse in any way, call us back immediately for further instructions, but they're on the way.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Is it possible?
Hear that?
Is it? Yeah, I heard it all. Is it possible to get a copy of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do I do that?
I'm going to save it. Are you the POA?
Yes, I'm an accommodator for ADA disabilities, and I've been in your office to get
I see the notes where you.
yeah.
I assumed you were. I wouldn't be giving you all the information. I read the notes where you picked up the patient care report and all that stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I don't have a actual POA, but I do have permission to access his medical records and to access his records from MEMS.
So we're not breaking any HIPAA rules, I don't think.
No, we're not.
Can you email me, Flora?
Sure. What's your email?
It's my first name, Edwin, EDWIN, Hutchison, HUTCHISON, at metroems.org.
Okay. Edwin.Etchison@metroems.org.
Yeah. Send me a request for the 911 call for the date in response for the patient, requesting the 911 audio and dispatch information. And then I can just email it to you.
Oh, fantastic.
That way it'll save you a trip. And I'll email it to you with an audio file and then a copy of the CAD information.
Okay. Can I ask you a couple questions about the report also? So one of the things is on page 5 of 6. It was signed with, like a squiggly line. So I wanted to know if that signature was made like on one of those electronic pads, and that's why it looks so unreadable.
Squiggly like it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does that probably. I laugh when they ask me for a signature. But is that how that's made?
Yeah, so the medics use a Panasonic Toughbook tablet, if you will.
Right.
The EMR is software on the tablet, and all that data is entered in, and then they get a signature from receiving staff for the transfer of care, a witness if the patient's unable to sign, or preferably the patient's signature if they are able to sign.
Yeah, so that was a question. They said that he was awake when they called, but there was at some point, I think they wrote a loss of consciousness. Is that going to be in, you said you were going to send a report along with the audio tape, but
Yeah, you've got the patient care report. I
right,
was going to send you the dispatch sheet.
okay,
It's got the details. Remember the comments that I read to you
right.
about
The
the caller, and you heard him say it. That's where they got it from. Was he's on the ground and looks like he fell 3 stories.
right,
Right.
yeah.
So that's there.
But does it show anywhere where he had a loss of consciousness? Because he didn't sign the form. It looks like Nathan Ernst, the trauma RN, who's the person who did the triage, it looks like he
Yep.
signed the form because it's
Yep.
printed name.
Yeah, printed name under facility signature is Nathan Ernst, RN.
Right. So why did Sean not sign the form?
I'm finding it here. Nathan Ernst. Reason unable to sign. It's got AMS,
Yeah, what's that stand for?
altered mental status.
Okay.
And the Glasgow Coma Scale documented is 12,
Okay.
which is, you and I are 15.
Right, I understand that very much. I could tell you why, like, it's become an issue.
I'm sorry, let me correct that. The Glasgow Coma Scale is 13.
Right.
Trauma score is 12. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the trauma score, what's the range on that?
So that's a calculated score based on vital signs. It's just auto-calculated for us.
Right. But I mean, what's the range? Like with the with the GCS, does the ranges from 1 to 15 or from like 9 to 15 or something?
3 to 15.
3 to 15, yeah.
Iraq has a GCS of 3, basically,
Oh, okay.
Is 3. For the revised trauma score, the range is 0 to 12.
Okay, so 12 is the best.
Yep.
And he was a 12.
Yep.
And where does that show?
RTS under vital signs.
Okay. I'm looking for vital signs. Okay. And it's RTS. Let's see if I could find that. Oh, that. Oh, okay. Well, you just taught me something. And
It's okay.
actually, so I'm going to ask you the hard question here.
Okay.
But I understand, and like I did not question you at all, and I've been all over UAMS. We have a claim filed against them, and now they're trying to deflect the blame to you. And I'll tell you too, my dad was a ER doctor. He was a surgeon, and I do not have any animosity towards doctors in general or emergency services. But why, or like, do they always write those notes as what is told to them by the caller? Or can they use their discretion?
As far as the paramedics' notes?
Yes.
Like specifically the narrative?
Yeah, like specifically the 2 blocks, the chief complaint and the injury are what are in question.
Okay.
So that's what I want to have changed, because they based their decision for treatment on what they considered a fact that he fell approximately 35 feet. And they wrote that in their, they being UAMS, and they wrote that in their medical record that's like 1,300 pages long. And they wrote that probably 50 times. I'm just guessing, estimating. So, what I want to know is why, like, when the EMT gets there, he's obviously not a witness, but he doesn't write down on the form, he doesn't attribute that information to anyone. Now, you've just attributed it for me. Like, I heard where the EMT got it, which was the homeowner. And that's a good thing for us because we weren't able to have a case against the homeowner before, but that might get his homeowner's insurance to kick in. But what I'm trying to find out is like why nobody looked at him. Like you're saying, he had an RTS of 12 and a GCS of 13, and he had bleeding from his nose, but there was no other injury to his body. Like his head got hurt, definitely, but there was no injury to his body. Like they didn't have a scratch on him. There was a bruise on him when I first got there, but I think UAMS may have made that bruise. But why did no one, I mean, this is the question I'm asking UAMS, but I should probably ask you too, is why did nobody question the fact that, like, if someone fell 35 feet, there's a good chance they're going to die. It's like a 50-50 chance. There's probably a really good chance they're going to break a bone. Like I say, my dad was a surgeon. He was an orthopedic surgeon. I'm pretty sure that a fall from 35 feet is going to break a bone or at least something, but it did break. He did have some fractures in his skull. So, I mean, but I'm saying, just asking, do you have the discretion to change the report to reflect if the person who called in the call obviously made an error?
Well, let me think about that, Laura. So we train on medics to document objectively. And an example would be if you responded to a patient who you could smell alcohol on, it doesn't matter what we think. We can't write the patient was drunk. We can objectively comment the patient had an odor of ETOH about them. Or the patient admitted to drinking 6 beers or whatever. It's just an example.
Right.
Kind of comparing subjective to objective documentation, right?
Right. I understand that. Can I?
The caller, he fell about 35 feet. The fire department was there. They also have reports you may want to get a copy of.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, the fire department. They were on scene before we got there, and they do write a report. It's not as extensive as our report, but they were there and had applied a C-collar, and they give us information when we get there. And I'm sure the medic looked up at the height, surely, while he was there and said, yeah, that looked to be about
Right, but so you know what happened? Because my son remembered it eventually.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
and
I'm curious. 'Cause I'm like you, broken legs, pelvis, arms, something. That's considered major trauma when an adult falls greater than 20 feet.
right.
Okay. That's three stories. And when adults fall per our trauma criteria, greater than 20 feet, that's considered major trauma.
Right.
So that's how
So you're
it's
getting
reported.
it exactly. When he went in the triage that Nathan Ernst did, there's
Mm-hmm.
there's 3 boxes of criteria, the activation level 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Of all the 37 unique criteria,
Mm-hmm.
there was only one checked off, which was fall greater than 20 feet.
Right.
And they still treated him like he was a critically ill patient. And the claim we have is that UAMS kept him against his will for 2 weeks. And in the first half hour, they gave him a CT scan. They determined they didn't need to do any surgery or any kind of intervention other than observation. And he said, I want to go home. And he said it hurts a little. Um, but he was verbal, and he answered those questions they ask about, like, have you been depressed in the last 2 weeks? And he answered all of those questions. And then they didn't want to let him go, and they pumped him with fentanyl.
Mm.
And from there, they had him in 4-point restraints. They gave him lorazepam, diazepam, barbiturates, um, olanzapine, I think it's called. It's a
Yes, ma'am.
antipsychotic.
Yes, ma'am.
They did nothing for the head trauma in 2 weeks. They did give him Keppra, which is pretty common. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
And he
It's
could have,
prophylactic.
right, it's a
Yep.
prophylactic. It's not an
Right.
emergent necessity. It's a
Okay.
prophylactic. But that was the only thing they did that has to do with a TBI. And they basically just tortured him for 2 weeks. And then I was taking the LSAT at the beginning, and right after I took it, I started, reading them the riot act, and they let him go AMA. And within days, he had improved dramatically. Like, he got worse while he was there. He was borderline critical while he was there from what they were doing to him. And none of it was from the injury. So he remembered on, I think it was around February 8th. I know that's the first time that I documented it, but he remembered falling. Um, he was like at the second story, like his head was at the second story. And he was just looking for a place that he could move the ladder to. And because there was like a little area that jutted out. And so he was looking for the area to move the ladder to. And the ladder just started to move away from the house. And there was a big slope behind it. it was pretty dramatic looking. Like I could see how the EMTs, would like, oh, oh my God. Like my husband saw it and said, if I had driven there for a job and saw that, I would have just drove right past.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like,
I used to live near that area. Actually, I lived in Kingwood and cut through there a lot. There are a lot of houses on slopes and, the old 70s, 80s model homes that are built
yeah,
back in like that. So I was visualizing one of
yeah.
those homes when I read this.
So he just thought like I'm gonna go down that slope that's like 100 and something feet, and so he let go. He kind of jumped in a way, and he said he didn't account for inertia, and so it flipped him. But he purposefully was jumping off the ladder. I don't know if he says he hit his head. Like that's what stopped the fall. Because I wondered if, he had even like landed on his feet or somehow blunted the fall because he really, to me, the injuries didn't look that bad. What they did to him at UAMS looked horrifying. Like, and they told me that they weren't using any drugs on him. They specifically said we didn't give him opioids, we didn't give him benzodiazepines. They said we didn't give him benzos. And so I'm seeing this person who looks like he's a drug addict, which he used to be. And I'm like, oh my God, my son, my 35-year-old, 6 foot tall, 230-pound son is going to be this way the rest of his life from this traumatic brain injury. So they scared the shit out of me. But then, after I started snooping around more, I saw that they were giving him drugs. They were telling me they were just giving him salt water. And I started like reading the machinery and, looking at empty packets and stuff. And I'm like, you're giving him more than salt water. And then when I got the record, I saw, that they gave him fentanyl and all those other drugs. So, anyways, that's like way more information than you need, but that's why I need this information because, um, and why I probably will subpoena the EMT or you. Are you like the person who would go to court and tell them what happened?
No, the paramedic that took care of the patient would be the one. Yeah, with subpoena would go. Or
But
deposition.
would the paramedic who first of all, is his name on this report?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, under crew members, you have personnel, Taylor Ogle, that's the primary paramedic.
Okay.
And then Savannah Bajork is the EMT, and looks like they had Destiny Sanders, the third person writing. She was probably a new employee that was doing her upgrade ride time.
Okay, I'm looking for it. Do you know what page that's on? Oh, I see it. I found it. Yeah, I found it.
Insurance.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, crew members. Okay, I hadn't seen that. But for policy questions, like the one that I asked you, like do they have discretion to change what the homeowner said? And I have an analogy, like you gave kind of the if they smell like alcohol. But let's say that they show up to a domestic violence situation and the I was going to say the husband, but I'll switch it around. The wife is standing there with, screaming, and she's obviously, hysterical. And so she's got a pan in her hand, and she says, "Oh, he was just outside and he fell and hit his head." Like, could they say, "Oh, it looks a little bit like the, woman might have hit him in the head with the pan?" You know what I'm saying? Like, are they allowed to put down notes that say it looks like it could have been a fall from lower than the full height of the ladder?
Yeah, that would be more subjective. That would be their opinion, I think, and they're just basing it on what the caller told us. Of course, the caller didn't see him fall either. He heard a thud, he says, and then he says the ladder was maybe 3 stories up.
Well,
Like you, I'm thinking, if he fell 20 feet, Laura, he's going to have some broken bones, not just his face. And if he landed on his face from 20 feet, it's a wonder he doesn't have a traumatic brain injury. And he doesn't, according to what you're telling me.
he had a traumatic brain injury. Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, but you could have a mild TBI, and that's what he had. He had a mild TBI.
My stepson has a TBI from a car crash where he was ejected into a tree, and he was super disabled. He was 17. He's 36 now, but I know what a TBI is in the worst case, and this sounds like a less critical case if he's doing well, which I'm glad he is, except for a little aphasia. But
yeah. Oh, so we never did answer. Where does it say LOC on this report? Do you see it?
Signs and symptoms: severe traumatic injuries, altered mental status. Define LOC.
Loss of consciousness.
Okay. Some people use that for a level of consciousness, like what level are they?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But I remember seeing it somewhere in the records, but it may have just been in the medical records from UAMS. But if it's on this record, I would like to know that. If it's not on this record, that's, again, shows that UAMS kind of, interjected some.
So in the narrative, the medic documented on scene and found patient at the back of the house with multi-level and stairs due to the house being built in the hill. Patient was alert to verbal stimuli and oriented to this person with confusion. That's the reason he got a 13 on his class called coma scale. The bystander explained, quote, "I heard a thud and I came and found him out by the ladder." So that's an objective statement by the bystander in quotation. The patient found unresponsive with his head lying on a rock, and the ladder was partially falling. The ladder was diagonally across the porch and nearby power line. There's no signs of electric involvement. So that was based on what the caller told him and what he saw.
Yeah, that sounds like what the caller told me too. And but so it wasn't your crew that saw him lying on the rock or that found him unresponsive. Right. Like when your crew got there, he was responsive.
Yeah, he was verbal. So, hey, can you hear me? Yes. He's oriented to his name, but he's a little confused on what happened.
right. He didn't remember the fall at first. But when I got, so here was the other thing with UAMS. They had his wallet, which had $1,000 in it approximately.
Okay.
They wrote in their report that he was cleaning his gutters, so they thought that that was his house, that nice big 3-story house in that neighborhood. So they're thinking he's rich. They didn't contact his significant other who he lived with or me, and we're both in his phone. They didn't give him his phone, and they made no, and so they just like started filling him with fentanyl, tied him up, and we thought he was playing poker with his buddies. And so his girlfriend calls the next morning when he's not home, and luckily someone answered the phone. And so that then we went to the hospital. When we got there, he was unrecognizable from the drugs, and he was bound to the bed and just screaming and crying to let him loose, and they wouldn't. And they're saying he was agitated. Well, yeah, duh, you just locked him up and pumped him full of drugs, and he's a recovered drug addict. Like, they couldn't have done anything worse. And then they somehow, he goes in there, they take the CT scans, there's nothing wrong with his left ear at all. And when he left, he had disrupted oscular chain, and he's 100% deaf in the left ear. And then the accident hurt his right ear, and that one's 50% deaf. So he's pretty much 75% deaf.
Wow.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I told you, your company, we really appreciate them being there. We appreciate them, like helping. And who knew, like he could have been very hurt. So we're glad somebody showed up, and we're glad that you took such good notes. Other than that chief complaint and the injury, is there a way that we're going to be able to get that adjusted to say something like the caller said, or get it attributed, or like we were told it was a 35-foot fall, because exactly what the man said looks like he fell about 3 stories.
Right.
So if you could attribute it to the caller, or if you could say, I mean, that's probably the way I would do it. Like, I have a journalism degree, and that's what they teach us, always attribute. So is that possible?
I think so. I think, we have the right to do addendums to the record or make changes that are inaccurate. And I would think under chief complaint, fall from approximately 35 feet from ladder per calling party.
Right.
Might be appropriate.
Great.
And then what was the other section?
Injury says fall. Oh, yeah, that's the one that you were just talking about. Fall on and from ladder 35 feet, according to caller. The other one was the chief complaint, fall from approximately 35 feet from ladder. And what I thought, and like I've written this in documents now at the Claims Commission, is that it's possible. See how they wrote from twice? Fall from approximately 35 feet from ladder. Before we had this discussion and I heard the caller, I thought that maybe he put in an extra from, so it would be fall from 35-foot ladder, because the ladder was approximately 35 feet. So that would be true if they said fall from approximately 35-foot ladder. Just take out one of the froms. And then that's more accurate.
Okay.
Because nobody but he knows how far he fell. So they,
Okay.
yeah. And, like if they wrote apparently fell from 35 feet, like, which is another way of like kind of deflecting or like showing that, you don't know. But
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
not be true because it didn't appear that he fell from 35 feet. Because it just appeared that he had a 35-foot ladder, but he didn't have injuries consistent with a fall from 35 feet. So it would be more apparent that he fell, like he fell from a ladder.
Right.
But yeah. And the other thing was, and I'd be happy with just what you said, like if they attributed it, and if they maybe take out that second from to make it more accurate, or, um, even if they went as far as to say what their observation was, like, appears to have fallen a non-critical height, because he didn't look critical. I mean, he definitely got hurt, but he wasn't like, critically ill. But yeah, that's what I would do, or hope that you do, is fix that up for it so that it's more accurate.
Okay. Send me an email, Laura,
Okay.
requesting the things as we discussed earlier, the recording, 911 recording, and then the dispatch summary
Okay.
sheet.
And to make
And
amendment.
then a request to make the amendments to the record. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll have that, and then I'll get to work on it for you.
Okay.
I'll email you those other documents. I've got to head to a meeting.
Yep.
I'm late.
Okay. Well, no, you've been like amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And
I'm here to help.
yeah.
And if you think of something else, call me back. My name's Mac again. It's 301-1463. That's my direct line.
Oh, let me write that down. 301
1463.
63. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll take it from here. Thank you. I enjoyed visiting with you and hearing your story. And I'm sorry for what you're going through.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you do.
Well, you're very welcome.
Okay. Bye.
I will watch for your email. Thanks, Laura.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.